Well, if it had not been for God on our side, where would we have been? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for your help and your comfort. We're grateful indeed. This is Wake Up Africa. We're now turning our attention to some news where we get to serve you with the details. My guests are seated today. A man who uses science to solve crimes, works with the Ghana Armed Forces as a forensic scientist, is also a pastor and also by calling indeed, but forensic scientist by profession, and also with the Next Gen Action Chapel International. He joins us as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Koku.
It's good to have you.
You are welcome with your heart. You and your heart are both welcome.
I'm supposed to welcome you. Anyways, also Reverend Xavier Demoji is a clinical engineer, also works with Lekma Hospital, also an assistant pastor at Teshi Action Chapel International. We're grateful. Thank you very much. You nearly twinned.
Oh, yes. Very nearly so.
Nearly.
The spirit is one.
Yeah, nearly.
Be at the line, and so we have a WhatsApp group. We add.
No, I don't want to come. I don't want to come there. But of course, let's get into some of the news that are making headlines most especially. Okay. Quite a number of them have been top. We're expecting that the finance minister presents the budget by next week, sometime next week. But ongoing is, it ended yesterday actually, the National Economic Dialogue. And a member of the team of organizers is Professor John Gachi, member of the planning committee indeed, who has been speaking on the sidelines of that event. He highlighted the importance of the dialogue in fostering inclusive discussions, generating actionable solutions. According to him, the recommendations from the dialogue will be integrated into the framework of the National Development Planning Commission, ensuring their alignment with Ghana's long-term development goals. Let me start off with you, Reverend Xavier, on this particular one. I mean, it's important that we come together, even though the minority has boycotted it entirely. I think they are going to be boycotting a lot of things. The earlier we position our minds, the better for us. But we saw a lot of minds, great minds there, from even the former governor of the Bank of Ghana attended, even Polakwa himself, Dr. Polakwa, even Dr. Addison was there as well. So for me, any other person, for me, this is nothing to do with the new Patriotic Party, but can stay out, because I feel that Mr. Pinim was there.
Yeah,
I mean, the major guys were there. Talk to me about it.
Well, it's a great dialogue. Because when I watched everything that happened, I think the measures that they came up with they are very strong measures to develop the economy of this country. And it's rather unfortunate that the minority decided to opt out. I don't know their reasons, but these are strategic reasons, platforms for nation building. And their input is also very important, because on the minority side, they also have very strong guys with great academia, great knowledge and input. All the same, looking at the team that came to the forum and some of the ideas they brought up on board, I think these are very good things. We are just waiting for the implementation. Yeah. It shouldn't just be economic dialogue. We've heard of whatever has happened and nothing happened. So I think the implementation is what is more important. So we look forward for the implementation in the coming days.
I see. Well, some of the reasons they cited were as the issue of the revocation of some of the appointments, or if you like, the letters, and so that's what I heard Mr. Kojo Mponkrumah make mention of. But let's
Kojo Mponkrumah is the one who said that.
Yes.
He relayed the information.
Yes.
Oh Lord, this is sad.
Okay. Now the issue has to do with, I might not have heard everything. I'm not sure the report is out. I didn't follow entirely through. I was looking for live feed, but I couldn't get it. I'm not sure it was live anywhere.
It's available online now.
Okay, now.
Yes.
They put it on now.
Channel 1, big chunks of the discussion, so particular segments have now been posted on the
right.
channel.
So I'll follow that. But one of the major things I would love to hear is how to de-dollarize our economy.
Yes.
Look, the dollar, if you ask me, is what is making nonsense.
Yeah.
We pay in dollars.
Yeah.
Some hotels still charging dollars. Schools charging dollars. I mean, how dare you?
You know, yesterday, interestingly enough, the dollar came down. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I hear it was. Huh?
There was a glitch. Yes. It came to 8 CD.
Then quickly,
back
then 15. Hey, watch yourself. A lot of people, they say, Charlie, change. They say, go check.
They'll be sorry. They'll be sorry if that thing stayed for even 30 minutes.
Then again, people, we know friends of our friends who have also hoarded their dollars.
Yes.
Expecting that it should. If you're watching us, it will come down and down until you release it in Jesus' name.
You know, that thing, I understand it was as a result of, Trump announced something. So it's not that the CD appreciated, it was that the dollar depreciated. Yes, and because of the announcement that, a policy announcement that he made, major currencies and some of our own currencies responded.
I think the tariffs that he's placing on a lot of it.
Yes,
so people are having
Canada, Mexico, exactly.
Yeah.
So
China.
that's exactly what happened. And then the dollar depreciated momentarily. But they've recorded a downturn, a record downturn since December 2024. They've depreciated by 0.5%, I think. This is the lowest it's been since December 2024. But that's on the other side. Regarding the economic dialogues, one of the key points that was raised when we were discussing macroeconomics, one of the things that they said was concerning industrialization. And I didn't even think about it that way. The key factor that they pointed out was energy. And they said that if we were able to decrease the price of energy, in terms of producing the energy, we'll be able to power more factories and therefore produce cheap goods for export. Then it will affect the exchange rate. Then the dollar will come down. And when they did the breakdown of how much we sell our power, how much we buy our power rather from the producers, it's either they have poor negotiation skills or they are just buying at political prices because it doesn't make sense. If we are buying power per kilowatt at I think 16 cents or at some very ridiculous price like that, if that's how much we are getting it for, then we deserve to be where we are. So if we are able to diversify our energy sources, if we are able to get the Bui Dam up, we are able to get the Abuadzi thermal plant up, we are able to scale up all the other energy generation places, and we are able to focus on producing or at least developing the raw materials that we have, the cocoa, the bauxite, the manganese, and even our food products. If we are able to develop it up to a certain point, we'll be able to increase our exports, and then the dollar will stabilize.
That's the idea really of it's in force, only that we don't like to expand, and we don't pay attention to these things that much, because that's what the industrial parks are for. Indeed, that is what the 24-hour economy is for, is to say that bringing a lot of people into the industrialization foundation, of course, then mostly reduce the things they may need. So power is key, secure their place, transport, how to cut goods from one place to the other and all of that. So if these things are put in place, I'm not sure we're going to be struggling anymore.
At all. The Ghanaian economy suffering the way it's suffering doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Because Ghana is a relatively small country. Developing a country like ours is not such a big deal. If you look at other countries like Nigeria, like Egypt, like Ethiopia, it's a huge country.
Huge.
Even a country like Russia has been able to do it. So Ghana is like a state in Nigeria, let's be serious. The entire Ghana is like one state in Nigeria. So developing it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. So our leaders should really, do the right thing.
I see.
And
let's look at what it is that we are not even able to do as a country. And it is not even widespread. We're talking Galamsey right now. It is just peculiar to some regions, and sometimes not even in the entire region. Just something
small parts,
but still we are not able to deal with it. We're Okay. About 66 illegal miners have been, I'm restraining myself this morning actually. 66 illegal miners have been arrested by a joint military and a police operation at the Tilly Forest in the Upper East region. The operation, which took place on Tuesday, March 4th, 2024, was a swoop to end the activities of illegal mining in that forest. The suspects include 2 Burkinabés, 26 Togolese, and 38 Ghanaians. Tilly Forest is one of the biggest forest reserves in the Upper East region, where some of these illegal miners are engaging in and all of that. Right. Somewhere at Anwea or something, there's the Western region. They were told that, I don't know if that's where the NDC chairperson said.
Yes.
Is.
That's precisely
the
place.
place. Right. I had some relatively strong words for him.
Earlier.
No, earlier. I said
It's you see, when I read the story, I was asking, even foreigners are doing.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But they are the ones.
Look at the number, 26.
26 Togolese and 6 Burkinabés.
6 Burkinabés.
They're even more than the Ghanaians. How many Ghanaians?
38.
38 Ghanaians were 38.
They are short, too shy of
It's as though we are matched.
Yeah.
But I was very impressive with the chief of the town. I think he raised an alarm and got the people arrested. I think what he did was the best.
It's commendable.
You know, a lot of people have been blaming the chief that they are silent. They are sitting at the comfort of their palace and people are doing Galamseyers and they are just silent on it. But for him to take such initiative to get them arrested, it just tells you that this thing it's happening.
It is.
It's still happening, and people are. I even heard the news that there were some people that were protesting.
At the Anya area.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, why should they even block them? And I think it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing, and the government should come in. I think some of the things that they are putting in place is just too soft to me. Some of the measures they are taking to curtail some of these activities. I don't know why, because sometimes we've had escalators bent.
Yes.
Confiscate escalators, and that thing is still happening. So there is it's a serious thing, because if you look at the way these are water bodies are being destroyed, and the vegetation now there are reserves is where they are even targeting. So it's a serious thing. I think there should be a holistic approach to.
I mean, what happened in Area is a typical example of why we've not been able to clamp this thing down. Because people in government, or some people affiliated to the government, are the ones behind these things. I always say that the big men in Accra sitting in offices who are financing the thing are the ones to be targeted. Because once you cut the power, once you cut the funding, all of these things will stop. These people are not there on their own accord. They didn't just go there. People contracted them to go there. Yeah. And the gold, no, they themselves, they don't even see the profit of it. They are paid on a daily basis or whatever rate that they get. And a comprehensive investigation. I don't know why the NIB is not taking this thing up. I mean, I like NIB. I trust them. National Investigations Bureau. If they say they'll get you, forget it. They will get you. So I think maybe in the shortest possible time, we should make this a state of national emergency, a case of national importance and emergency, and crack down on the financiers, the moguls. We've heard names. I'm not about to sit here and name any of them, but we've heard big names who are behind some of these things. And if you're able to get them out of the way, I think these people down the food chain will not even matter.
That for me brings us to the attention to that one point, that the big names we've had are the same people who sit on our contracts. Oh, all the goodies that must come to us is these same guys, yet they still want our lives. They want to kill us. Like, I mean, I have to use the word, they use that term, forgive me, it's a bit harsh, but I'm saying that that is what is happening. We are not able, look, there will be a time where a particular region, an alarm is going to blow. You know, people, and I don't want us to mention the region, right? People take buses, they ride on motors, they take flights to just go and eat fufu in that particular region and come back to base. There will be a time, an alarm is going to blow, that some of the foodstuffs, indeed, most of the hotels around town and all of that, no longer get foodstuffs from that region. They get it from neighboring countries like Togo and the rest.
Because they have destroyed the farmlands.
Exactly, with Galamseyers. And it is said that if you use it, it could affect you. Oh yes.
Because of the heavy metal seeping into the soil.
Exactly.
Substances in there.
So that is where we are as a country. That is where we are as a country.
I don't know why the people in power don't see it as a key.
Even the people in that region, the people in that space.
You know, for you to mine, I remember one of my lectures in Masters, Mr. Taki, he was the chief forensic scientist at GSA. I think he's retired now. He was telling us that when Newmont was going to get their permit, just a simple permit at one of these places there in the Ashanti region or some place like that, they had to go and do a feasibility study. And they had to do the thing every 10 years or so to gauge and measure the effect of mining on the community. That's how it's supposed to be. You go, you do the feasibility study, you do your initial studies, you find out what metals are in the ground, what the effects of it, how it affects the community, and so on and so forth, in various ways. So, and then you can give the permits before you start. So what these people are doing is not just a matter of, they are destroying water bodies. They are going to be affecting future generations in ways we cannot even begin to describe. Already, we've seen deformations because of the water.
Babies
who are born without limbs, some
who don't have anything to do with our lifestyle.
So even if it is just one person, it's
innocent babies.
Exactly. It's not on. We won't take this.
If the president cannot deal with this, allow the UN whatever to come in, declare a state of emergency. The Emergency Powers Act 1994 is there. Declare it.
The sad thing that the perpetration of this crime, we've had a lot of people being arrested.
Yes, but
what happened to them?
The prosecution
You see, when people are being arrested, it's just an issue of the news. Who knows that these 66 people, in 2 weeks' time, they'll be released?
And go back. They'll go back.
They'll go back.
They go back again.
So
anyways, just anyways. Let's go to another alleged crime. Former Deputy Director of the National Service Authority, Gifty Mensah, has returned to Ghana amid ongoing investigation into ghost name scandal at the NSA. Reports indicate that Mensah, who had been in the United States after the elections, arrived in the country on Tuesday afternoon. He was met at the airport by some family members. Well, obviously, quite a number of people around the National Service Authority have been detained, picked up and detained, and some of them released as well. Let's come to the issue now. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay. Is it an open-minded?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, the NSA thing that we are talking about, it seems people don't really get the depth of it. First of all, there are 5 people who have been in charge of the NSA over the period under review, where this fraud committee. There are 5, I think, Ohinijan, Esibe, this woman, Mustafa, and then one other man, Nanabi. It's Nanabi. So these are the ones who have been in charge of the NSA. And that 81,000 ghost names that we saw was only for 2024, 2025. In 2018, and again, they report one figure to the public, and then they report another figure to Parliament to get the funding. So, for instance, in 2018, 2019, what they told the public was that they were deploying 85,708 people for national service. Then when they went to submit their reports to the Parliament, they said they were deploying 135,603. So the money that was released was for 135,000 people, when they told us that they were deploying only 85,000. Then the following year, 2019, they told us they were deploying 77,000 and reported to Parliament that they were deploying 114,000. It goes on and on and on. In 2020, they said they told Ghanaian public 86,000. They told the Parliament 125,000. 2021, they said they were deploying 81,000. They told the Parliament 110,000. And so if you compare all the difference, it is well over 200,000 names that they added. And each national service person from that time till now took an average of 600 cedis. Average. So multiply 600 cedis by, that's where we get the figure 2 billion from. In excess of 2.1 billion Ghana cedis. So respectfully, she's welcome home. We are excited to see her. we will really like some answers at this point. How we are able to. And Koku, it's even sad because the 700 or 600 now, whatever amounts they pay the national service people, it's not able to sustain them for a month.
These Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, sir, don't speak.
No.
You want to talk?
No, I don't. I said I'm
Google settings.
No.
You don't just say anything.
No, it's,
The NSS money, the thing is not enough. It won't come early. And so there are some people in the back end who have bloated the numbers such that the money, because if you are paying for 135,000, it's not the same as if you are paying for 80,000 or 85,000 people. So the struggle that the government was going through, trying to get the money, trying to disburse it, was all because, and it was deliberate. They manufactured index numbers per school, fake index numbers with very silly formats. There was this Alassam Mohammed or something whose name he alone appeared 226 individual times. The same course, they say UDS. The guy was in UDS. They said he's reading whatever community, whatever in UDS. One person, 226 times, one person graduating in the same year, in the same class. But you see, when they submit the names to the Parliament they are trusted. Parliament thinks that, okay, NSA is the authority in charge of this thing. They've done their due diligence. If they say it's 135,000, it's 135,000. And then they pass back, playing us for fools. Just riding us because we have entrusted, they give trust. When they report figures, we don't look into it because we say, oh, Charlie, they're doing a good job. If not for the Fourth Estate and what's his name? What's the name of the guy? Manasseh Azuri.
Okay, right.
And his guys.
Media Foundation.
If not for them, we would be sitting here thinking that all is well. And add this 2.1 to the oral report, the 20 billion. You see how much money we have? We are sitting here saying we need 1.2 billion to complete the agenda 111. Can't the oral money and this one alone cater for all the hospitals that are in question? I'm getting angry because these people, this Inshira FM, the morning show host, he said he knows Madam Owari personally. They were in tech together. They graduated together. And he said that woman, look, she's welcome. She's welcome. We are glad to see you, ma. We will see you soon.
Reverend Savior.
Well, give to Owari, she's welcome. These are all serious allegations that are necessary for nation building, and she has to be accountable for whatever is happening. Apart from whatever is going on, when you look at the plight of national service personnel, sometimes I receive national personnel each year, and sometimes for 3 to 6 months.
Their pay has not come. And it's very sad when you see people doing service. For instance, when we were doing service, it was very sad. You will be waiting for allowance, which is very insignificant. And you have to wait for about 6 months for such a money to come to you. It all comes back to the institution not having fund to take care of them. But to hear of them putting up ghost name, blotting figures to enrich themselves. I was hearing that there were even some people posted to Kasongo. and it's the weight of it.
Some of the things are really funny.
There's even a Kenyan man, a Kenyan inside the list, a Kenyan.
You see, these things are happening when you look at national service. See, this thing have to be looked at holistically because for somebody to finish tertiary institution, want to serve the nation, and be intrigued to all sort of. There was one guy who was doing national service, and he came to me and said, "Boss, it seems national service is like national suffering." Because he couldn't have the money to pay for his transport, feed himself, and the allowance was not coming. You see, some of these things you sit in Accra, you think it's
fun. It's not.
It's a serious thing. There are a lot of people that are going through serious economic, because the moment you graduate from school, the perception
you're on your own.
You are on your own.
You're on your own.
You dress up in the morning, you are going to do national service. The perception is that you are working.
You are working, you are being paid. How do you explain that the money is not coming?
It's very sad. Some people have to rent. Some people have to do a lot of things. And look at the way the things are being done, even with the posting. And I think there is a problem.
There is.
Because even with national service posting, even now, if you don't lobby, you'll be posted to some village. You will not even be placed at a place that, as me to say, that you require some sort of training. You see, and when you get to level 400 that you're about to finish, that is where this kind of the lobbying come in. that you see institutions trying to pay the national service so that they get a better placement at industries that they believe that after work you'll be retained. And these things are basic things that are very necessary. And for leaders, people that have been selected to be leaders of such a firm to come up with a cocktail of ghost names, how to take money. I'm not accusing them, but they should be able to justify whatever allegation that has been leveled against them.
My angle is just simple, that they said some family members had gone to welcome her at the airport.
Oh, it was just 2 people?
Yes, even the 2. I blame the family for allowing the 2 to go.
Oh, why?
I tell you this. If we train the child well to get to a point where the child who serves the nation, there's a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
That is why you will not even find people in the Western world. The most expensive of cars are driven by entertainers.
Yes. Movie stars.
Not public servants.
At all.
You are wearing a watch on your wrist, and probably boasting to your family members who are excited that you are wearing an 18 million Ghana cedis. I'm not talking about a 10,000 watch. Even a 10,000 watch, if your father sees you wearing a 10,000 watch, your father who trained you well should be able to tell you, bro, sis, what are you doing?
Why a watch?
Why? 18 million Ghana cedis and over.
One watch.
500,000 Ghana dollars.
If you have stolen 2 billion,
Richard Mille.
2 billion is a lot of. It's 2,000 million, really. 2 billion is 2,000 million. I think 80 million for one watch is not. What is 80 million? Let's be serious. So if you have 2 billion, what will you be watching?
Why are you pointing at me? That 2 billion. It's like you are alleging that I have 2 billion.
I'm just saying, if you had 2 billion, 2.1 billion in your account,
the way you are calling it, is that the effect?
These people are really playing as wicked.
If anybody, these are final words, if anybody comes comes to take over this investigation, go to plead on behalf of these people when they are found culpable, the nation will rise.
Yeah.
And nobody should joke with us, because it is not fair. Justice must prevail.
Yeah.
Final words quickly, in about 30 seconds.
Well, to me, I think if you are selected as a leader of an institution, you see, let me just be a bit fair to the leadership, because who knows that some of these things were done at a blind sight. I'm not justifying her action,
Okay.
but I'm just saying that as leaders, you should just if you sit in a certain place of leadership, it's not just every document that you just approve.
Right.
I think there should be scrutinization of whatever you go through, because anything that goes wrong, you'll be held accountable to it. So those that have been selected to be heads of institutions, don't just assume, oh, they have sinned, so I sign.
Right.
They have brought in a document. Oh, how is it? It's fine that you just sign as a boss. It can lead to some of these things. Who knows if she has really looked at some of these things?
Yeah.
She could have noticed. I'm not saying that she doesn't know of it, but if you are a leader and some of these things happen, whether you are aware or not,
You are the one.
you are the one who is in charge.
Right.
So leaders should be really accountable for some of these things.
You know, one of the Archbishop's emphasis is
Just
leadership.
okay.
One of the main reasons he started the Next Gen Church is leadership. And the fact that we don't have enough Christians in leadership. The people who go are one way before they enter, they're another way by the time they come out. You know, and so this is an urge to my people, Christians, and the young people like me. Trying to, staying out of politics because you're a Christian is not, I can't see what part of the Bible you are quoting for such an action or activity. People like Daniel and Joseph were in political office.
Yeah.
People like Joseph of Arimathea, they had political experience, and they were able to use that for the benefit of the kingdom and the country. And again, if these people were a certain kind of people, if they were Christians, so to speak, in the true sense of the word, some of these things will not go on. So Christians should get into politics, and we have to be serious to build a nation.
When you go there, be serious indeed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's Pastor Bernard Adi, Pastor Badi of Axe Buddy podcast. He's also a forensic scientist and a pastor of Next Gen Action Chapel International. Of course, an assistant pastor also with the tertiary branch of the Action Chapel International, who is also a clinical engineer, a Reverend Xavier Demoji. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. God bless you. Well, stay with us. We have a lot more coming up right here. We'll be back.